to my channel. So today we're going to talk about my testimony. So grab your tea to relax your nerves. So this all started like in 2012-13 when I had issues in school, failing grades and all that kind of stuff. I wasn't going to classes because I just felt like there's no need. I was depressed, confused, I didn't know what to do. My parents don't joke with school. Like that's one thing they don't joke with: your school, your life, your future. I was trying to fix the problem by myself instead of bringing in my parents, because my parents were just blind to the whole situation. They would call me, "Oh, are you okay? How was school?" I'll be like, "Yeah, school is good." School wasn't good. School was bad. So I was keeping everything away. I was like, I'm going to fix it. Don't worry, I'm going to fix it. I was telling myself I was making myself feel better. I was born into a Catholic home, so obviously I used to go to Catholic church in Nigeria and all that kind of stuff. Like obviously my parents gave us like the basic believe in God sermon. Every Nigerian home is like believe in God, go to church. That's like the basic stuff. But I wasn't really like grounded. All I knew was that I was Catholic, and every Sunday I used to go to church. I went for catechism, I got my Holy Communion, I did all the confirmation, but I wasn't really into the whole spiritual thing like that. So my friend invited me for this event. I can't remember if it was 2013 or 2013. This was the first time of me going to a Pentecostal church. The first time I liked it. It wasn't like Catholic church, right? It wasn't what I was used to. I liked it at the end of the day because it was very bubbling, the choir, and especially because I love to sing, so I kind of like liked it from that point of view. As time went on, I started going every Sunday. They had Bible study on Tuesdays. I used to go once in a while for that one. It was just go to church, come back, and especially because at that time I had a group of friends, so we used to always go to church together. So it was more like a routine thing, like okay, wake up in the morning, dress nice, wear makeup, go to church with your friends, praise God, come back. It wasn't too serious until one Sunday they were talking about like serving in the church. They're telling people to come out if you want to serve. So the ushering department, the choir, protocol, hospitality. Me, I was just like, I want to sing, but at the same time I don't want to be in the choir. So I remember a particular Sunday, like I was saying, they called people out. People came out, like people that wanted to join different groups. There was this particular friend of mine that came out and she's like, she wants to join choir. And then she's telling me, come, like let's do it together. And I'm like, right now is not the time. She really wants me to do this thing with her, especially because she can sing too. And so I was like, okay, not bad. I mean, if it's choir, I don't really mind. Like, what can I really lose? I love to sing, so this is just going to help me if anything. So fast forward later, I started coming for practice. I started doing things. I was involved now because obviously people knew me now. I was coming to church all the time. I was networking with people in church, so it kind of helped me. It kind of motivated me. Let me just stop there. I started to feel good about myself because as time went on, as I was going to church, as I was singing in the choir, as I was talking to people in church, I just started to feel more safe. I started to feel like, life is not bad after all. Like, I can actually make a change if I want to. It pushed me to do more. It pushed me to always come for practice. It pushed me to always be in church on Sundays. Even if I couldn't make it, I would try and, make up for it. I'm so thankful. I'm so grateful that I went through that process. There was a church program that was happening in church either November or October of that year. I was gassed. Obviously, I was like, I'm going to go. So I remember I invited one of my friends. I heard that the pastor that is coming to minister is very powerful. Like, I've never been in that situation where people are shaking. Because obviously, I'm a Catholic, so I never saw that kind of thing. I just watch it on like TV. So I'm like, oh, I really want to experience something like this. So let's go back a little bit. Before the event, I was thinking to myself, like, I'm tired of living this life I'm living. So I was like, what? I have a lot of things on my chest that I need to get off, especially my school problems. And I was now thinking, how will I do it? I need God. I was now remembering all those times where, I used to party, I used to hang out with bad people. And I was now thinking like, wow, God saved me from all of those things. Like, someone could have just come into the club and start shooting, and all of those things we hear on the news, all those things that I did. I used to be angry when I go to a club and a guy doesn't dance with me. I'll feel like, am I not that beautiful? Am I not that, hot? I will follow the crowd, follow. Thank you, Jesus, for my life, because honestly, I'm so thankful that I changed. When people ask me, oh, how did you do it? God did it. I didn't do it. Let's go back to the event. So obviously after I thought about everything, I was like, you know what, there has to be a way. At this point, I was now feeling very guilty. I was feeling down. I was feeling like if I don't do this, I might get myself into a bigger mess. Come this event, I remember I was sitting beside my friend. We were just praying. Like the pastor was like, pray, pray, pray. Like we were praying hard prayers. So at this point, after preaching and saying all the messages, and we prayed and everything, the whole place was now silent. He was now looking, like all these pastors, maybe they're looking to feel the power that God is giving them. He was now everywhere. I remember everywhere was silent in the room. It was as if God was telling him something, and he was just trying to be calm, to be able to, get the information that God was telling him. The next thing he says, after all this, it will be unfair to just leave without coming forward to give your life to Christ. You have to do it now. That kind of thing when it's just hitting you in the chest, like you have to do it now, you have to do it now, you have to do it now. You never know, it might be too late tomorrow. Give your life now. He was now saying, if you want to do it, come out now, let me pray with you. At this point, I was still in my seat. People were coming out. And if you know me or if you don't know me, let me just kind of tell you a little bit about myself. I'm very shy. Even if I'm called out for a good thing, to receive an award or something, it's hard for me to come out. I don't like to be in front of a very big crowd. It makes me very anxious. So obviously in my mind, I'm like, I really want this. I want to give my life to God. But I'm still in my seat. I'm still just talking to myself. I'm just praying to myself that even though I don't come out, maybe God will still, love me. God will still help me out. People say shaking, all those stuff. And in my mind, I'm like, wow, I'm looking at people and I'm like, wow, people shaking, people falling. It was a serious big deal. I wanted something so bad, but I was scared to come out. So after he was done with the last person, I still didn't go. I remember my head was bowed like this and I was praying. I was like, God, hear me. I still remember that day like it was yesterday. So at this point, my heart is beating fast. Oh my God, I don't want God's anointing to pass me by. I was not expecting the next thing that happened. My head was still bowed and the pastor just said, you come out, you come out. It can't be me. It just cannot be me. I brought up my head and then he's pointing at my direction. So I'm like, oh, definitely it's not. It's probably my friend. And he's like, no, you fair girl. So right now I'm just shaking. I don't know what to do. I stand up. I start to walk to the front of the church. And I'm literally shaking. I'm shaking. And then he lays his hand on my neck like this. And he's like, God has heard you. Then the next thing I know, I started feeling vibration. I'm like, hold up. Hold up. It was moving me off the ground. It was strong vibration. I was shaking. So my eyes were closed at this point. And the next thing, he removes his hand. And tell me why I started crying out my eyes. When you're now crying and you're trying to stop your you're trying to suppress the cry. To me, it was just like magic. Abracadabra. It was like that. But after that day, obviously, everything started to get better. Now, this was the part where everything changed, because all those things I was hiding from my parents, I had to talk about them. I went to my pastor and I was like, this is the situation. Pastor's like, you have to call your dad, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you're not understanding. You don't know my dad. He's gonna kill me. And my pastor was just encouraging me, telling me that nothing's gonna happen. That day, I cried. I was just crying like a baby. He's like, what's the number? In my head, I'm thinking, Pastor, you want to call my dad? Okay, I'll, tell me what happened. I'll see you tomorrow. He's like, sit down there. I will call him and you talk to him and you tell him. So at this point, I give him the number and then he dials it and then it's ringing. Holy. When I tell you what was going through my mind when that phone was ringing, and then he picks up. And I'm there with the phone shaking hello, who's this? Obviously it's the pastor's number. He called on a different phone, so it wasn't my number that he normally would notice, and he normally would be like, oh, my daughter, here's my voice. He's like, oh, Amaka. And obviously, you know, he's thinking like, oh, why are you calling me with a different number? And I'm like, yo. At this point, my friend takes over and she's like, oh, I'm Amaka's friend, but she wants to tell you something and it's hard for her to tell you. So I'm just going to, like, you know, kind of summarize it. And then she tells him. And all the while, I'm just there sitting beside her and I'm just like crying my eyes out. So she tells him, and then he says, oh, can he talk to me? And I'm like, oh God, what will I say? Take the phone, and I'm just crying, like I don't have anything to say. And he's like, okay, you know, don't worry. When I stop crying, I should call him back when I've gone home or something. I was like, one phase is down, but I gotta deal with a lot more phases to come. What I thought was going to be bad turned out to be a source of strength, turned out to be something that I can look back and tell people that no matter what, like, honestly, there's nothing that God cannot do. There's nothing that is bigger than you. There's nothing that is hard for you to go through. As long as you're going through it, you can conquer it. Like, it just made me believe that, wow, my parents that I thought were strict, they kind of understood, and I wasn't thinking like they would. I thought they would be very harsh towards me, but even they loved me more. They understood, they were there for me, they supported me even going forward. People are being like, oh, why am I forming? I'm like, what is there to form about? I'm not forming, this is me now. There has been a change. So it's either you appreciate the change or you keep it moving. All the things I used to do back then is like, no, not anymore. There's certain people I have to relate with now. If you're not, you know, that type of person I can relate with, cut it. A change has happened, so obviously change comes with other things, comes with, you know, adjusting your lifestyle, doing things in a different way. If you have an opportunity to give your life to Christ or to make yourself better, to get closer to God, go for it, because it's the best decision you ever make in your life. When you have God, everything follows. Without God, we're just looking here and there, we're just very confused, we're just wandering around. But with God, God leads you, God directs you. Whenever you're doing stuff, you remember, God is with me. When you want to commit sin, you remember. You have this conscience, you have that guilty, you start to be accountable to the things you do. And it's not like you just want to be holy, because honestly, I'm not even holy. I still struggle with things. I'm still a human being and I still have weak flesh, because my spirituality has elevated. Those things that I would normally be weak for don't really get me anymore. Like, you know, I'm just trying to better my life. You just got one life. If you die today, that's the end. You gotta go to heaven or you go to hell. So you gotta make the best of your life right now. You don't want to do all those bad things and then you die, or then maybe you're sick and then on your hospital bed you're now thinking, oh God, what if I just... You don't want to be that person that's like, what if I had known? You want to do it now, because life is too short. There's no afterlife. This is no Twilight series. This is none of those fantasy stories. We only got one life and we need to make the most of it. God has really been good to me. I really love my life right now. Even though I'm not where I'm supposed to be, or I'm not where I want to be yet, I know that God is still working in me. And I know that if I do my part, I mean, God is going to do his part too, right? So I'm not even worried about nothing. Honestly, even if I've lost a lot of things in my life, I know I will still gain even more. I know that for sure, because I know the God I serve, and the God I serve will never lie. Don't be afraid, don't be worried, don't be lost, don't be confused, because I got you. Give him your praise, love upon him, and everything will be well with you. Everything will be added to you. God still loves you regardless of if you're a sinner, if you're a believer. He's always there to support you. Like, if you fall, he's there to catch you. I mean, you're always on the winning side with God. Like, you can never lose. So thank you guys for watching my video. I hope I didn't talk too much, but I hope that you took something out of this video, and I hope that encourages you. If you enjoyed this video, like it, give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.